Hi, Tube viewers, and welcome to Paper Crafts by Cindy Ellen and our hop for Eating Disorders Awareness Week. So, purple is the color of eating disorders awareness, like, you know, purple ribbons, stuff like that. So I decided to make a mermaid. And because I want to talk to you a little bit about eating disorders, I've decided that you're going to get to watch me color. How exciting. So first I'm going to talk a little bit about what I'm using. So this is the card I made. I actually made two cards, but I'm going to talk about this one. So the stencil in the background is called Bubbles, and it was by Scrapping for Less, designed by Courtney Krieber. Great stencil, but Scrapping for Less went out of business December 15th, 2020. I will miss it very much. It was by my friend Teresa Russell of Shop, and she decided to retire. I think that's wonderful for her and rotten for the rest of us. So I used Picket Fence's paper glaze in Agapanthus purple. Agapanthus is a kind of flower. Great color, and I just love all the little bubbles. So I just thought that was really cool, and this is part of the Winter Metallic Pack from Crafter's Companion that I picked up a long time ago. It came with a dark blue, a light blue, and a silver, and I'm still using it. So, and the stamp set is, what is the stamp set? Oh, it's on the plastic. It's from Sassy and Crafty. I'll put the link down below, but I just love this. Mermaids don't lose sleep over shrimp. I'm done adulting, let's be mermaids. You're fantastic, make a splash. One of the things I really like about Sassy and Crafty's stamp images is that they're really nice and big and solid. So for those of us who have trouble coloring, they're very easy to color. They're easy to mask. I really like them. What the shell, swim on. I love this crab. Is this like the cutest crab ever? I have him somewhere. Hold on, he's already all colored. Look at him. Is he like adorable? Wait a minute. I will show you. There he is. Isn't he great? He's a little purple crab. He's very cute. Okay, so let's get finished coloring in this mermaid here. I kind of like her, but I'm wondering if she's just gonna blend in with the rest of the card. So anyway, here we go. Let's do, I have my Arteza markers here in all their splendiferousness. I've been coloring her. I believe this was sky blue, teal, and deep teal, and turquoise actually are those colors. Let me see what colors these are. Heh, those don't match. So hold on for a minute. And honestly, this is very often the way I color. I did swatch them all out, but honestly, Arteza is a lot better about putting colors on their marker tops. So it looks like these two are pretty much skin colors. So I may, that's the Aurora pink. We're gonna keep that one out. And this one's, oh, that one's that one. And so that one is peony pink. We're gonna put that one back. This is Bubble Bath. Oh, that's that one. Let me keep that one. Bubble Bath, Aurora. And what are you? Not you. That one is Cherry Blossom Pink, which is also a really nice skin color, but we want something that's a little pinkier pink. Ah, there we go. So one of the cool things I learned from my friend and marker, alcohol marker person, Kathy Racusin, is that just about anything will blend if you color it right. I've been on a number of road trips with Kathy, and quite literally, as she says, color plucking has taught me a lot. So I want to talk a little bit about eating disorders. I used to work with people with eating disorders, and there are a lot of myths about eating disorders. One of the biggest myths about eating disorders is the only people who get them are young women, and that is not true. First of all, if you get an eating disorder as a young woman, there's a really big chance that it will continue throughout your lifetime, and it may rear its ugly head later on. Or if you didn't get an eating disorder as a young woman, there is a chance that you may get one later on in life. Young men get eating disorders as well, especially young men involved in wrestling and sports where weight is important, and they have to meet a weight goal. So I think that's really important to know, is that young men often have a hard time with eating disorders as well. So, you know, an eating disorder is any time when you feel like your weight is the most important thing about you. Also, it's kind of an interesting thing that people often will say that an eating disorder is just a fluke. And, well, everybody in the United States has an eating disorder. That's not true. Eating disorders are also one of those things where lots of us have disordered eating. We all tend to spend a little too much time at fast food restaurants and not enough time with vegetables. But at the same time, not very many of us spend so much time thinking about what our pants look like that we literally can't think of anything else. Or so much time thinking about what the caloric content of our meal is that we really can't concentrate on what a professor is saying, on what our family is saying, on what anyone else is saying. So, I mean, I think that's really important to know and really important to think about. Now we're going to break out the ones that I put away, and now is when you use that chisel tip and just kind of, yeah, blend everything together. That's my favorite part, is watching it all come together. Yeah. Oh, I like that. That came out nice. So that's an important thing to know. Eating disorders are actually anxiety disorders, and they're more about control and what we do have control over than about food, than anything else. So that's an important thing to know as well. So if somebody you know has an eating disorder, how can you help them? Well, first of all, you can listen to them. It is not a good idea to just say to them, well, I think you look fine, just eat something, you'll feel better, because that's not true. Sometimes if you have an eating disorder, the scariest thing you can possibly do is eat something, because it brings up more anxiety than anything else in the entire world, is just eating something. Because it wakes up all the negative voices in your head, and you can't possibly think of anything else to do. So it's very scary to just eat something. So that's not going to work. It's like asking someone to jump off a 16-story building. It is not going to be the best thing for all those involved. It's just not. So you can listen to them, you can support them, you can tell them how much they're loved, you can tell them how much they're needed. Getting them help is always important. There are a lot of resources online and also resources around the country. And I think that's always a very important thing to know, is that you don't have to go at this alone. In helping somebody with an eating disorder. There's also a fallacy that people with eating disorders are very selfish. They're not very selfish. What they are is they're very starved. So when you haven't eaten a lot, your brain gets a little whiffy and your brain doesn't really know what's going on. People with eating disorders have a tendency to wake up a lot because your brain will wake you up and try to get you to go find something to eat because your brain doesn't want you dying. So that's kind of an interesting thing to do. Those are for people who have anorexia nervosa or bulimia nervosa. That's anorexia are people who have don't want to take on calories. Bulimia nervosa are for people who eat but then get rid of what they eat in some form or another. Sometimes it's through exercise, sometimes it's through purging. But they do all different kinds of things. There are actually 8 different kinds of eating disorders. So there's all different kinds of ways of doing it. All different, I mean, we know about anorexia and bulimia. There's also binge eating disorder. You know, the interesting thing is that people who are really skinny may be what we think of when we think of an eating disorder, but that's not necessarily really true, especially as we age. People with eating disorders have a tendency to gain weight rather than to lose weight when practicing their eating disorders, which terrifies them. So they have a tendency to get more and more strict. What eating disorders are characterized by is they're characterized by rules, strict rules and regulations about when to eat, what to eat, where to eat, and with whom to eat. So if you think someone you know has an eating disorder, try to get them some help. So there we go. I think I like her more for this card anyway. So hold on for a minute while I cut her out. We'll be right back. And prank, she's all cut out. Okay, so how do I know all these things about eating disorders? Well, I used to help my friend Sue run an eating disorders clinic. So I have treated a lot of people with eating disorders. And I think that's really important to know. So the oldest person I ever treated with an eating disorder was 72. And the youngest person I ever treated with an eating disorder was 7. And people have lots of different reasons for having an eating disorder, but I can still tell you that eating disorders are always anxiety disorders. They're always anxiety disorders. They're a lot like addictions. They try to help us control things when we feel out of control. There are a bunch of us on this hop, and I think it's really important. And it's not just, there are some people who use food to help them fill themselves up, to feel more comfortable. There are people who who starve themselves to help them feel more comfortable. One of the reasons for starving yourself is that when you starve yourself, cortisol and, now I can't remember the name of it. There's another hormone that kicks in, and that hormone helps you feel numb. And when those hormones kick in and help you feel numb, then your feelings aren't nearly as overwhelming. Really important. You know, really important. So that's one of the ways that you know that. But here's an important thing to know. Mermaids don't lose sleep over shrimp. So these dyes, by the way, are from not Pink Frick Studio. They're out in California. Now I can't remember them all. It's a set of borders. Why can't I remember their name? Anyway, the next person in the hop is listed down below. Thank you, Candice, for organizing all of this. Candice, who lives up in Ontario, is going to be giving away prizes, and she'll be announcing who wins the prizes for her eating disorders hop on her blog post on February 13th on her channel, on her YouTube post. So you want to visit as many people on this 25 stop hop that you can, so that you can win a prize. You can win a prize. Down below too, I'm going to list some resources here in the States and in Canada and in the UK, so that you will know how to get friends and relations some help. And there you go. That's our card for today. I love sparkly shiny. By the way, here's a hint. If you have glitter paper that is dropping all of its glitter, lay down the glitter paper, spray it with hairspray of all things, and that will stick the glitter down. This is a trick you learned from me today. So thanks, Candice, for including me in this hop. And as I said, your next link is below. I'll see you on the next go round. Bye.